Hello everyone, I am Jhalak Patel from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Electronics and Communications. Welcomes you to the session of electromagnetic theory. Today we are going to discuss about Unit 2 with topics Biot-Savart law applications. So first of all, let's talk about the magnetic field intensity due to infinite line charge. So for that, the distribution is like this. Here again we take the reference axis x, y, z, and with respect to reference axis we have to find out the magnetic field intensity at one particular point. So if you remember the session where we find out the electric field intensity due to infinite line charge, in the same manner we have to do the procedure to find out the infinite line charge distribution and magnetic field intensity. The same steps are taken, like first we have to do the assumptions, then finding out the distance, and then we have to put the equation in the electric field intensity. Here in case of equation of electric field intensity, we have to use the magnetic field intensity equation, and then we have to do the integration. The same procedure will be taken for both the cases. So if you remember the field intensity structure, then you can easily calculate the H due to infinite line charge. Okay. So let's start with this first assumption. Here again we take the reference axis as the right hand Cartesian coordinate system and the main coordinates are cylindrical coordinate system. So here the point where we desire the magnetic field intensity is located over point P, that is R, phi and 0, and our current filament is located at 0, phi and z. Okay, so here you can see that current filament is located. Because it is an infinite line, so we consider that infinite line on z-axis itself, and the z-axis has some amount of current filament IDZ1, 2, 3 at 0, phi and z. So for that given system, we can say that current filament is located at 0, phi z and point P is located at r phi 0. So we can say that distance and Biot-Savart law. So first, let me give you the equation of the Biot-Savart law, that is I dl bar cross AR upon 4 pi r square, that we have already discussed in the last lecture. So now we have to put the values in this equation. So first thing is you have to find out the distance. Distance is the point where you require the field intensity minus the point where charge is located. So it will be like this. R phi 0 minus 0 phi z, because it is a cylindrical system, so it is R AR minus z is z. Here one thing is dl bar. dl bar is our differential length filament. So if you remember the electric field intensity equation, then in that case we have taken the differential length as dz because our charge is located on z axis. So here also our filament is located on the z axis, that's why dl bar will become dz az bar. Okay. In case of electric field intensity, you have to say that charge is located. In case of magnetic field intensity, you have to say that current filament is located. Okay. So here magnitude is like this, square root of and square of the individual component. And then we have to put the values in the equation of Biot-Savart law. So it will be like this: I dz az, dz az is our dl bar upon 4 pi r square. R square is the distance, so it will r square plus z square. Cross, please note that here cross product is there. Cross r ar minus z az upon root r square plus z square. So if you see the denominator, then it is r square plus z square raised to 1 into r square plus z square raised to 1 by 2. So it will become 3 by 2. So the final equation is like this: 4 pi r square plus z square raised to 3 by 2. In the numerator part, we have done the cross product. So z cross r is our pi and z cross z is 0. We have already discussed about the cross product direction in unit number 1, that if it is in the same direction, then the cross product is 0. So here again z cross z is 0 and az cross ar. Here you have to consider with reference to x-axis, like in case of Cartesian coordinate, it is x, y and z, and you have to do ax cross ay, then it is az. Similar for the cylindrical, you have to do r, phi and z, and ar cross a phi means az. Same way the other coordinates can be done. So here z cross r means phi, so you have to put the equation over here, value. The remaining z cross z will become 0, so we need to write down that. So the final equation for dh is like this. Here this is how we have done the cross product for the cylindrical. So now here this is the infinite line charge distribution. So we have to take the integration from minus infinite to plus infinite. So let's put the values in this integral form. Here whatever term that is constant with respect to that particular integral, that is out of the integration. So IR and 4 pi is constant, so it is out of the integration. The remaining term is dz upon r square plus z square raised to 3 by 2. So now you have to solve this r square plus z square raised to 3 by 2. Again you have to remember that case of electric field intensity due to infinite line charge, that we have suppose some value for the for z is equal to, so that z is equal to r tan theta. In that case we have suppose r tan t. You can also take that z equal to r tan t. So dz will become, differentiation of tan is sec, so r square theta d theta. So now we have to change the limit because we have taken one function z equal to r tan theta. So if z goes to minus infinite, then according to it theta will change. Same way if z tends to infinite, according to it theta will change. So if we take z tends to infinite, then tan inverse of infinite will becomes the pi by 2 and tan inverse of minus infinite will becomes minus pi by 2. So you have to take the limit from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So again let's put the value in differential magnetic field intensity. So if we have done that, then in the denominator part r square plus z square raised to 3 by 2. So r square will become as it is, but in place of z you have to put this function z equal to r tan theta. So z square means it becomes r square tan square theta raised to 3 by 2. In this equation r square term is common, so it will be out of this bracket r square into 1 plus tan square. 1 plus tan square is nothing but sec square theta, but it has a power 3 by 2. So sec square theta raised to 3 by 2, so it becomes sec cube theta like this, r cube sec cube theta. Now we have the denominator part, so let's solve it further. So IR upon 4 pi E phi is as it is. Integration limit is from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Here our differential term will be sec square theta d theta, so it will be r as it is. Next term d r sec square theta d theta divided by r cube sec cube theta. So if you see this equation, then in this equation r sec square theta, r sec square theta cancel out. So only term that is remaining is 1 upon sec, and 1 upon sec is cos theta. So you have to do the integration of the cos theta. Cos theta's integration is sin theta, and obviously the limit is from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So it will become 2 because sin pi by 2 1. So the final equation of the magnetic field intensity due to infinite line charge is like this: I upon 2 pi r E phi bar. This is the final equation for infinite line charge distribution. To finding out the direction of this magnetic field intensity, you can use the right hand rule, in which you have to grip the current filament in a right hand, and here the thumb will show the direction of the current and the direction of finger will show the current field intensity's direction. Okay. Now for the example purpose, you have to first solve this A phi bar value. Now, how you can solve this A phi bar? So, A phi bar is basically the cross product of two terms, that is AL cross AR, where AR you can find by the unit vector of the distance, but AR bar is what? Filament direction. Means if you have the direction of filament, then you have to do the cross product with the unit vector of the distance. Now the question is, what is the unit vector of distance? So unit vector of distance can be find out by the first the magnitude of the desired point. Okay, unit vector of the distance can be find out by the vector of the distance divided by the magnitude of the distance. So first, how one can find out the vector of the distance for the magnetic field intensity? So it can be find out by the desired point where we require the magnetic field intensity minus the point where the current filament is located. So this is how you can calculate the AR bar, and then you have to find then you have to put the values in this equation. So this gives you the final value of A5 bar. Okay. Now let's see one example related to it. Here problem statement is a current filament of 3 AX ampere lies along x-axis. Here you have to find out the field intensity at -1, 3 and 2. So first, the main thing for the current filament is a line charge distribution. So obviously the equation is I upon 2 pi r, A5 bar. So main question is to find out the direction A5 bar. A5 bar can be found out with the cross product of two things. First thing is the filament direction with the cross product with the unit vector of distance. So filament direction, if you see the problem statement, then filament is located along x-axis, that's why AX bar, cross unit vector of distance. Unit vector of distance you have to find out. So here in this case unit vector of distance is -132, because we want to find out the field intensity at -132. So -132 minus the point where filament is located. So filament is located along x-axis. X-axis means the only you have to take the x coordinate and you have to keep the other two coordinate as 0. So here x-axis is there, so you have to make the y and z as 0, 0, and x-axis same as given in the desired field intensity, that is -1. So the R bar will becomes -132 minus 100. So our R bar will become 032. Now we have the A5 bar direction. A5 bar can be calculated from this. So A5 bar can be AX cross AR. AR is nothing but the unit vector. So you can easily find out the unit vector by doing the vector upon magnitude. If you calculate the magnitude, it will become √30, because 3 square plus 2 square and square root of that can be given. So our A5 bar direction will becomes like this. AX, because filament is located on x-axis, so AX cross unit vector of distance. So unit vector of distance is 3AY plus 2AZ upon √30. So again x cross y means z, and x cross z, because z cross x is y. So x cross z is -AY. Okay. So here 3AZ minus 2AY upon √13, that is A5 bar. Now let's put the values in the equation of magnetic field intensity, that is I upon 2 pi r A5 bar. We have the value of current, that is 2 ampere filament. So 2 upon 2 pi r is √13 into A5 bar. A5 bar is nothing but -2AY plus 3AZ upon √13. So if you solve this equation, then you get the answer for magnetic field intensity, that is -73.22 AY plus 109.83 AZ milliampere per meter. This is our final equation for magnetic field. Now let's see the H bar due to finite length filament. In the last theory, we have seen the magnetic field intensity due to infinite length filament. Here the same procedure will be taken, but only change will be done for the length of the filament. In that case, we have taken the limit from -infinite to infinite, because we have considered infinite length filament. But here finite length filament is there, so you have to take some starting point and end point. Means if I say that it has a starting point of z1 and ending point at z2, so you have to take the limit from integration z1 to z2. Okay, no other changes will be done for this particular theory. So this is how we can do the same way as we have done for the last case, that z1 and z2 are there, idz is there. Again the same locations are there, r5 0, where the bond field intensity 05 Z is the filament where the charge is located or filament is. All the equations are same. If you see here, only changes this part. Only changes this part, z equal to z1 to z equal to z2. So same way you have to finding out the distance by desired point minus filament location, and then like unit vector Then you have to find out the direction by doing the cross product. Here again z cross z will become 0 and z cross r will become c5. So all the calculation will be done same as we have done for the previous theory for the infinite length filament. The only change is you have to do the integral, you have to change the integration limit in place of minus infinite to infinite. You have to take it from z1 to z2. Okay, so now from this equation onwards, we have to change theory. So here again we have take the function z equal to r tan alpha. Because we consider some angle is changing, so z equal to r tan alpha. So differentiation is z equal to r sec square alpha. Here again we have to change the limit. In case of infinite, if you remember, we have changed the limit from minus infinite to infinite, and then we have convert them in terms of the theta, that is from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Here also, here z1 to z2, means it will become tan inverse of z1. So let's take it that angle is alpha. So alpha equal to alpha 1 to alpha equal to alpha 2. Okay. So now, if you change the limit, it will be IR upon 4 pi, integration from alpha 1 to alpha 2. Again, differentiation amount is r sec square alpha d alpha. Divide by, again we have to put the values of z equal to r tan alpha. So denominator will becomes r cube sec cube alpha. In the last year, it will becomes r cube sec square theta. Here in place of theta, simply you have to put the alpha. Okay. So here the term that is remaining is 1 upon sec, and 1 upon sec is cos, integration of cos is sine, limit is from alpha 1 to alpha 2. So the final equation for the finite length filament for magnetic field intensity will becomes I upon 4 pi r sine alpha 2 minus sine alpha 1 a5 bar. Here again you can find out the a5 bar direction by doing the cross product of the filament direction with the unit vector of distance. Okay, so up to this, if you have any doubts or queries regarding this session, you can ask me on my email ID. Thank you for watching.